Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have with us tonight one of our All Black greats, whose All Black debut came in 1957 against Australia. 55th and final test was against the 1971 British Lions. Played 139 matches for King Country from 1955 to 1972. We all heard about his strength, his threshold for pain, in the game against Eastern Transvaal in South Africa when he emerged from a particularly vicious ruck with an arm dangling horribly with an obvious fracture, yet completed the match. When the doctor cut away the shirt and confirmed the break, all he said was, "At least we won the bloody game." Also captained the All Blacks a number of times, though never a regular captain, holds the record for longest period of captaincy. From the first day, 1960, he was appointed captain of the last match he captained in 1971. Heavily involved with many charities, one of those is work for the Rugby Foundation. Staunch supporter of the IHC, helping organising many fundraising events. Star of countless TV ads, including Sir Bob Charles' Dear Velvet, which is why he looks so young and vibrant today. All his life he's been a farmer, but now a townie, but still visits his old farm to get a supply of eternal spring water to help him and Verna in their retirement. Pleasure to welcome him here. And many of you here today will know of his special training for the Rugby Bowls tourney. Coming up in February, he uses green bowls in the hope of catching the selector's eye. Virtually every day, Colin's opinion is sought on some current issue, so he's really out of the limelight. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Colin Meads.
Good afternoon. When Ronnie first got up and spoke, he spoke in Afrikaans, so he told us. I've been to Africa a few times, I think it was all bullshit. It reminds me, when we first went to South Africa, first place we went to, the great Tom Pearce was our manager and a great orator from Auckland, you know, and he could really rattle off some great speeches. Great man. We were in a place called Vereeniging, and we're there the first day, and the Lord Mayor of Vereeniging put on a civic welcome for us. And he got up, he was one of those Afrikaners, and he spoke in Afrikaans for a good 25 minutes. And we were all chuckling and looking around, and what the hell's he talking about? And then he spoke in English and told us what he'd said. It took him only 5 minutes. So the great Tom Pearce, this great orator, he got up and his first words were Oamaru, Timaru, Waipakarau. And he went through all the names and he went for a good 20 minutes. I know Tika Woody came into it twice. And he said, "We, like you, are bilingual." And he said, "We're never so rude as to speak our native tongue in front of visitors." It was the last speech we had in South Africa. See what great people we have as managers. Irish stand that one. Then Paul spoke to us about all the, how much, we only paid, he said, well it was in the 70s, so I was mainly 60s. I think he said we only paid for 28 minutes. Jeez, that was bullshit. And all those statistics you gave, I didn't believe one of them, bar one. He said in our days, rucking was only 28 rucks in the 70s in a game. Nowadays, there's 120 rucks and walls. Because you can't stand on the bastards. You know, you didn't. Like our days, they all say you've got to keep your feet. Well, shit, you tried to keep your feet all right. You didn't go down in there, particularly if you're in France. You stayed on your bloody feet, and so that's why there wasn't many rucks, because you came out the other side, and you had those sort of wheels down the back that you used to be proud of in the shower. But too keen on getting the bastards. So I agree with you, Paul. Bring back rucking, and it'll go from 130 down to 20 bloody quick. And what's more, no one ever got hurt in a ruck. You know, I've never seen a person hurt in a ruck. There's always a mad, bad bastard that would kick you, and he never lasted long in rugby. I'm sure they got it sorted out after a while. Then it made me think, Paul's he looks fitter and younger than some of these bloody referees that are running around now. Why'd you give up? But and it reminds me of Pat Murphy. Now there was a referee, and we talking about the Springboks because we've got a Springbok. They came here in 1965. You know, we were always going to help Bob Scott and those poor 49ers that they beat us 4 times in a bloody row and kicked the shit out of us, and Okie Geffen kicked goals from everywhere. We were never to blame for giving them penalties, but it was...
I think that referee's bloody bad now.
So's Okie Geffen. But Pat Murphy, we had the 3rd test, we won 3 tests and lost the 3rd test. At half time, we were winning 16-3. Pat Murphy went off with a strained muscle in his leg at half time. And a fellow Taylor came on and took his place. Useless bloody referee. We were 16-3 up and we lost 19-16. So, what does other things? You know, South Africa, great people, great nation. I was there some 5 or 6 years ago, and some wise South African entrepreneur thought there was security for farmers. A lot of farmers were getting bopped off. They'd go to church on Sunday and come home and people would rob their house and they'd sit there and shoot them with their guns. And so, you know, this wise person thought, he'll get a speaking tour of South Africa. And you know who they got back? They got Frick Dupree, this great South African lot, Colin Meads and Willie John McBride. Hell, we had a good time, but I don't know that they made much money. We were there for a bloody fortnight, speaking every second night, and Frick Dupree driving us around. What a bloody circus.
Go to number8.co.nz.